Reporters worse than dictators? Trump ramps up war with fake news media as he calls CNN and NBC our country's biggest enemy right after North Korean nuke summit. President Donald Trump said Wednesday on Twitter that fake news outlets, including TV networks he loves to hate, are our country's biggest enemy. Trump had hours earlier returned from Singapore, where he began to negotiate a nuclear stand-down with North Korea, a belligerent communist dictatorship. He praised the despotic Kim Jong-un and said North Korea has great potential for the future. Not so for the political press corps. So funny to watch the fake news, especially NBC and CNN, Trump tweeted of the two networks he sees as most needlessly antagonistic toward his administration. They are fighting hard to downplay the deal with North Korea. 500 days ago they would have begged for this deal, looked like war would break out. Our country's biggest enemy is the fake news so easily promulgated by fools. Trump suggested last month that he might revoke White House credentials for some journalists, following the publication of a survey that showed a dramatic leftward tilt in television news coverage about him. The Media Research Center, a conservative watchdog group, tracked the evening newscasts on ABC, CBS and NBC for the first 4 months of 2018 and found more than 1,600 explicitly positive and negative statements about the president. 9 out of 10 of those statements were negative. The group did not include CNN and MSNBC in its research. Trump vented, saying, "The fake news is working overtime. Just reported that, despite the tremendous success we are having with the economy and all things else, 91% of the network news about me is negative, fake. Why do we work so hard in working with the media when it is corrupt? Take away credentials?" The president, though, ignored a journalist's question hours later when he was asked before a cabinet meeting whether or not he would ban press from the White House. Trump has long been a critic of the White House press corps coverage of him, branding some fake news outlets the enemy of the American people and saving his harshest criticism for the New York Times and CNN. His long-standing habit of sniping at journalists reached a fever pitch last fall when he floated a wide range of remedies for what he sees as a mass media that's stacked against him. Why isn't the Senate Intel Committee looking into the fake news networks in our country to see why so much of our news is just made up fake? He tweeted on October 5. Hours later the president took direct aim at the legitimacy of major broadcasters. With all of the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? He asked. Trump was still at it 6 days later, tweeting that network news has become so partisan, distorted and fake that licenses must be challenged and, if appropriate, revoked. The president has made his repeated contentious fights with the press a centerpiece of his public relations strategy, judging from polls that his own approval ratings will consistently outperform the mass media's. In a February 2017 press conference, just weeks into his young administration, he pointedly declared the era of trustworthy reporting over. "I want to see an honest press," Trump said then. "The public doesn't believe you people anymore.